This is perfect. The timing of this is perfect. Halfway to Halloween. I love it. Yeah. Time to start getting excited.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for tuning in for this interview with Mark J. Parker. He is the writer and director of the film Family History, and he is accepting the award for Best Actor on the behalf of his star. So, congratulations.
Thank you very much. This is so cool. This is our first win for Family History. So my actor Matthew couldn't be here. My producer Tom, my co-producer, couldn't be here. But hey, it's me. I accept.
This is your first award?
Yeah, this is our first award for Family History. My previous short, Sticks, won Best Actress and a couple awards at different festivals, which was cool. So it's nice to have a couple, acting awards. But yeah, this was our first one for Family History. You guys were, I think, Asylum Horror Show was our like 8th or 9th festival and first award win. So we're excited. It's pretty cool.
This is so awesome, Sam. Candlewood Lake. Hey, I can tell you're nervous.
Aren't you nervous at all?
Oh, I'm very nervous. I'm worried your dad's gonna hate me.
Yeah, me too.
Hi, Mr. Thorne. I'm Evan.
Yeah, hi.
Thank you for inviting me.
Lunch is almost ready. Come on in.
Like I said, he's not the warmest of guys.
Yeah, I'm kind of worried about that. Did I upset him?
No, you're fine. So this is the guest room?
Don't go in there. Just keep that door closed.
Yeah, that's okay.
Be fine, right? It's just lunch.
Yeah, no, I just, once we're done eating, it'll be over. I just don't think he likes me.
I don't feel right.
Your story was really well done. I mean, the cinematography was amazing. The writing was excellent. Like, it was one of those short films where it was like the jigsaw puzzle fit together perfectly. Like everything worked together as a well-oiled machine. When are people going to be able to see this in other venues?
1 year on the festival circuit. So from October 2020 to October 2021. So the goal is to have it on Amazon Prime and available online like by Halloween
Good.
2021.
I got a chance to watch your short. One of my favorite things about it was like the post-credits.
Oh, thank you.
Dude, that was so genius. Like, I thought, okay, it's done. It's wrapped up. It's pretty good. I got this. And then like it kept going. I'm like, oh, this is so good.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah. I started doing post-credits scenes with my first short, Sticks, and I found it really effective. And I thought it was a great idea to maybe show what's really happened in the past during the credits. Because also for short films, credits are, I don't want to say silly, credits are important everywhere, but let's like make it actually important to watch these names, so,
Right.
And I'm doing that with my next one, and I kind of have ideas to keep doing that for other future horror shorts. So
It's
might as well, if it's taking up runtime, make it a scene.
And they say that one of the hallmarks of style in any art form is consistency. So if you're consistent about having your post-credit sequence, then your chances are pretty good you're going to be known as he's the dude who does those cool post-credit sequences in his shorts.
Hey, I'll take it. Thank you.
How did this start for you? Where was your inspiration to not only become a filmmaker, but also to focus on the genre of doing horror films?
Oh, wow. What a great question. Okay, so as you can probably tell just from our chat, I love movies. I love scary movies. Ever since I was a kid, I was very lucky to have a dad who showed me things that I should not have seen. I was Freddy Krueger for Halloween when I was 6 years old. And the neighbors were like, "Are you out of your mind?" And I was like, "What's wrong?" So, watched movies at a young age. Luckily came from a movie-loving family. So I knew that it was just in me. I've been a performer. I was a child actor, and I act every now and then still once in a while. So it was very much like a show person's life. And once I saw Scream around the age of maybe 10 or 11, I was so upset I didn't see it in theaters. And my parents would have taken me, but I just missed it in theaters. That's when I was like, oh my gosh, I'm watching myself on the screen. that movie especially, and other classics really made me want to start writing. So even at a young age, writing short stories, even if they were blatant ripoffs. With my friends, I shot my own in like fifth grade, my own version of an updated Dracula. It was shot for shot a remake of Scream, but whatever.
But
So that's when I knew like I had to be making scary stories, and even in high school, and then as an adult, professionally, I love horror. I think it can be funny, can obviously be frightening. It can show us different, points of view. So it's I just love it. I can't rave enough about the genre.
nice. So once you got bit by it, that was it. You're
Oh
in,
yeah.
fine sinker. That's great. It's
Oh
one of my
yeah.
favorite things about the horror community is it seems like everyone who gets into it does it because they love it.
Oh, absolutely, right? It's the like as the audience, I mean, when you are thrilled, that is so exciting. Like obviously we haven't been able to be in theaters, but even like being at home, if you have a group of people, like I used to have horror movie nights at my house growing up. Just seeing the reactions, I was like, "Oh, this is so cool that people can actually do this and create stories and get big reactions out of people." Yeah, I got to do that. I can tell you, for family history at least, the
Yeah.
idea to get it, I got the idea, I guess almost like 5 years ago. So it took a while, to write it and to get it, shot and everything. We shot it right before COVID, October 2019. But writing it, I wrote it actually before Get Out came out. And so some people have told me, oh yeah, there's a little bit of a similarity. I guess I won't reveal that spoiler, but there is a little bit of a similarity. And I was like, oh yeah. Because when I saw Get Out in theaters, I was like, oh crap, this is kind of the twist there is similar. So I was like, not exact, not exactly. It's not so, I don't know. But so yeah, I had this idea for a while. It was inspired by my friend Tom, who is my co-producer on this, his beautiful condo on Candlewood Lake in Danbury, Connecticut. He would
I've
post.
been there.
Have you been there?
I've been
It's
to
such.
Candlewood Lake. It's beautiful.
I love that. Yeah, it's so nice. All time of year, it's so awesome and such a nice place to be. And he and his husband would take amazing pictures on social of Candlewood Lake. I was like, okay, and he's a big, horror movie fan as well. We used to have a podcast, and so I was like, we got to shoot something there. And so it just came from the lake and the whole old story of the lady of the lake kind of thing. So I was like, well, how can we like modernize that? And so yeah, it all started just from pictures of beautiful Candlewood Lake. That was the inspiration.
Then let's talk about your actor Matthew, who won the award. Like, so how did you find him, and what was that process like for you?
Yeah, it really is so awesome that Asylum, recognized him, because I've luckily been able to get a lot of great feedback about the cast, but especially from him, everyone from the crew to friends and kind of random people letting me know. Matthew's great. So I am a casting director professionally. So I used to live in New York before moving to Maine. I'm in Southern Maine now. So I was casting at ABC for a good like few years, 6 or 7 years. And so when I cast, I just find people online. So whether it's even Facebook groups or of course, backstage.com, Actors Access, the typical casting sites. So I had put this out on backstage.com and he submitted. And it's funny because in his pictures, he had very, very short hair, which I wasn't like set on short hair. I just was like, okay, cool, whatever. And he did a great self-tape, really great, natural, subtle self-tape. He was great. So I basically did a self-tape and then I brought him in to my work and paired him up with an actress just to see any chemistry and to see him in person. And I knew he was right away. I was like, you're definitely one of the top choices. And so we went with Matthew, and he's able to really add a very natural, subtle performance, especially with horror. We see so many bad performances, and so many over the top performances. And I feel like I barely even really had to direct him. It's all a blur now, and anyone who obviously has made a short film in a weekend, I mean, your mind is going a mile a minute. I barely slept, but he got it. I very rarely ever had to even tell him what we were doing. He just knew it, which is really impressive.
So it was just a natural fit, like no struggle, nothing. It's like you saw it, you knew it.
Oh yeah, I knew immediately. I was like, okay, he's got to play one of these roles, like without a doubt. And so he was available. I think he had shot another short like the weekend before, and it worked out really well.
Wow, yeah. Well, congrats to him. So it was like he didn't really I want to say he worked really hard for this, but at the same time he didn't. It was just like that
It
switch
just
came on and it was natural.
absolutely, yeah. I don't know if he worked too hard in his auditions. I mean, it just came off so effortless, and like he just was this character of this nice guy that is tormented inside. Because also, of course, with good horror, we want to subvert expectations, right?
Oh yeah,
So
absolutely.
the whole time, I had even before I wrote it, I was like, the whole time we're gonna think, is his dad anti-gay? Is he so kind of nervous and a little tense because there's tension with him and dad? And yes, there is, but there's tension for other reasons, of course, that we find out. So he just played that inner torment really well, where it wasn't too much, but we know immediately like he's jumpy. He gives these hints of like, we don't have to do this. So yeah,
A
he
lot
played
of
it really
tension.
well.
There was a lot of tension in that film. It was
Oh,
great. It was
thanks.
definitely one of the highlights. Like the fact that it was just building up to some sort of climax, and it was just once again
Oh,
it,
that's
it was
great.
like this well-oiled machine. Everything came together the right way. The great direction, great cinematography,
Thank
writing,
you.
acting, like
Yeah.
everything.
I'm very lucky that I was able to assemble a good group of people. Our DP was his name's Brendan H. Banks. He actually shot Scare Me, the Shudder movie that came out
Okay.
earlier. I guess it was a year ago, almost a year ago. It premiered at Sundance. So yeah, he's a great DP, and we actually went to high school together years ago. So yeah, I mean, everyone hire him. He's amazing. The look of it, and I my goal, because my previous short Sticks was very very indie, like, and very shaky camera and almost like guerrilla style. So I wanted this one to be a little bit more polished, and yeah, everything came together.
Yeah, you mentioned Sticks quite a few times, and that was your first production. Yeah, is there
Yeah,
is
that
there
was
a way
my
for people to see that now?
Yep, so that's on Amazon Prime, and
Okay.
I put that recently on YouTube Vimeo. So yeah, if you look up Sticks, you can look up my name. You'll
I
find
will. I
that.
will
Yeah.
make sure people get to see that. I think.
Thank you.
I think the great thing about an award like this is that it helps to lead to more exposure, and of course, talent should get exposure. That's kind of
Yeah.
par for the course. So now that you do have a new laurel on your cover, how is that going to help you in the future? What do you think is going to come out of this?
That's a really great question, because it's such a tricky world to navigate, because you can get a ton of laurels, and sometimes people don't care. So that's a great question. I definitely think it does help to have a laurel that focuses on an actor, focuses on a face of the story, since obviously the actors are what everyone is watching and commiserating with. So yeah, I'm gonna post it everywhere. Definitely, gonna include it in my press releases, and hopefully it will not only help the film, help me, help him, but just show that there is really good. Not to toot my own horn, but there is good independent filmmaking out there with good actors, right? Because yeah, I just see it sometimes at other festivals, like, oh, there's a good role for every actor out there. I firmly believe that. But some of these performances, you can tell either the director or the actor maybe didn't have enough time to really just sink their teeth into the role.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is just proof that there is good acting out there. You don't need to hire the big budget SAG actors.
That's right. Yeah, there's
You
there's a
know,
lot of undiscovered talent out there.
absolutely.
And the
Yeah.
nice thing about it is with today's technology and I guess now today's distribution technology, it's like you can be found and you can be seen. One of the great things also about horror is not only are the people get into it, they're fans, but the technology's gotten to the point where it's really accessible. Like if you want to
Oh
make a
yeah.
film, you can make a film. There's nothing stopping you. So if you want to be a
Absolutely.
filmmaker, go make a movie.
Absolutely. Go
Go
make a
ahead.
movie, and it's not hard to find. There are people that will work for low money. I try to always pay my people.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I try not to say work for free, but there are people that are going to blow you away for very little resources. So do it.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
And that's the
Even
beauty of
if
these
it's
virtual
not
film
much, still
festivals.
pay your people. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. And with virtual film festivals, yeah, it's a bummer we can't be in the theater, but more people have seen Family History than other things I've worked on because it's so easy to watch it at home. So, much like how it's so easy to make a film, it's so easy to watch an independent film now, you know?
Would you rather, so in regards, I guess, to being the fact that you got to win this through a virtual festival, do you think Would you rather go back to the old-fashioned film festivals? Do you prefer virtual now?
It's a tricky question, and I might be crucified for this, but I'm okay with virtual. It's nice to not have to travel, even in a non-COVID time. Traveling will still cost money. It's still taking up time and energy, So it is nice to be able to watch something right at home, and you still are very much connected to the festival, to other filmmakers. I actually made a great new, colleague through Asylum just on Facebook. So
Great.
I think it's great. I think virtual's awesome. I think in the future, when things are totally, hopefully, totally normal again, I almost think festivals should do an in-person and still a virtual component, right? If
Right,
possible.
yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what our plans are for next year, but I think it's going to be the same thing. I
Yeah.
don't know, I'm kind of a hermit, so it doesn't change anything for me. Like I was
Right.
trained my entire life for this pandemic. It's like me alone.
I
got comic books. Let me.
Right? I totally hear you. Yeah. This pandemic has really shown us who are the creators and just like people who have the things to do, and who are the consumers that need things to watch. They need things to do. They can't just sit still. So totally. I'm with you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right. Let me go back to a previous part of the conversation. So, being a casting director, um, I know a lot of people who watch festivals and who are into interviews like this. They're also trying to get into the business. So,
Yeah.
as a casting director, what advice would you give to an actor who wants to get into this field?
Absolutely. It's a great question. Definitely take some classes. A lot of actors, like one actor that I have started working with in class because I teach on the side. He's young. He's 15. I've been working with him for just a couple months. He already has a great agent that I introduced him to. He's already auditioning for like Steven Spielberg movies. So some actors, luckily, have it in them already. They already are good performers. And sometimes actors need classes to pull that out of them. No matter what, take classes. Some might be expensive. Hopefully you take them seriously so that money goes a long way. Classes are only going to make you better with more and more practice. So try that. And like we were saying, try to find someone or make your own content. Try to find someone to shoot something with you, even if it's just a scene, so that there's more video of you out there, and you can start adding things to your resume. Just even if they're like a 1 hour shoot somewhere, it's a 1-page scene, put it on there, put it on your website so that people know you're not just sitting around waiting for the phone to ring, as they used to say. What phones ring anymore?
Right.
But that you are being proactive and creating, content as much as possible. I know I love to see that as a content creator. It's amazing when I see actors with their own, even if it's like a hosting YouTube video or whatever. Like, the pandemic has kept us home, so that shouldn't limit you from still performing as much as you can, So yeah, try to just get out there and work.
Solid advice. That's a great series of advice for people trying to get it. So I know you got to leave in a few minutes, and we got to wrap this up. So let me just finish off by asking, what is next for you? Can you talk about what you're about to do, what you're in the process of doing?
Yeah, thank you. And who knows, maybe next year, maybe Asylum will show it. So I shot this past October. I own a small little cottage, a rental cottage, and it's seasonal. And for a long time, I thought, oh, this is just so cool. And we don't see enough movies that are enough horror movies, at least, but really any movies set in like a cottage community. The closest thing recently I can think of is the Strangers sequel, which was pretty great. Strangers Pray at Night, where it's at the kind of like vacation trailer park. So I am working on my next short, which is called Twin, which is set at a cute little cottage community, vacation community, at the very end of the season, before everything shuts down, before the water turns off. Young couple, again, gay couple, because I like to try to insert, just LGBTQ characters as much as possible in horror. So a gay couple is just checking in for a weekend getaway and has no idea that there are secrets about this cottage that they are going to learn about. And it gets a little spooky. It's a very kind of old school, haunted little getaway. But I think we do some things that will still surprise you. And it's still, a modern story. So a few less twists and turns in family history, but who knows, maybe people will like that more, because family history, has definitely, thankfully, gotten some acceptances, but a lot of no's. A lot of
Yeah,
people
of
do
course
not
it
like
is.
it. Yeah, a lot of people, a lot of festivals do not like it because, um, well, I guess I'll spoil it a bit, but there is the death of a gay character, which is funny because I'm a member of the queer community. I, I, I think that's just how the story goes. But so a lot of people don't like that. A lot of people don't like the violent ending. So this is still fun and horror and violent, but not so politically charged, I guess, even though
Right.
that's not even what I'm doing. But you know what I mean. It's just a more kind of straightforward, scary story. So that one's almost done. We're finishing that up in post, and then I want to shoot some more. I have a fun office horror movie idea, a short that is inspired by my work in casting. So that'll be kind of fun. So yeah, I want to shoot some more things because I like to write realistically based on what I can afford, based on a weekend shoot, like 1 to 2 days. So yeah, I have some ideas in mind. So
Good.
hopefully Asylum will be showing them in the future.
I hope so too. We'd like to see you come back. Well, I can't speak for the rest of the guys, but I would definitely like to see you come back because you know what you're doing. You do it really well, and everyone you work with seems to be the same way.
I mean, making a movie, as you know, I mean, it's hard. Making a short, making a 1 minute thing, it's hard. It takes so much time. There are so many thoughts in your head. So even like the bad ones, it's still really cool that you made it. And
Yeah.
all I say is because I'm still learning, I still have so much more to learn. That the more you can just like shoot something, or like I said, or take a class, like the better you will be. The more you learn, the more you practice. That's the way to do it. It's that age-old saying of like we learn from our mistakes, we learn from failures, even though I really don't think anything in filmmaking is a real failure. But it's hard because a lot of independent filmmakers I've learned have their walls up. And I get it. You're so close to your baby, right? You made
Yeah,
this, but
yeah,
like the more open you are to feedback, hopefully it's constructive criticism, like you really will learn, and your next one is going to be so much better.
yeah.
But there are a lot of people that I think they just hold it so close to their chest, and you kind of, once it's out there, you kind of have to just let it go, lower expectations, and then you'll be excited when every now and then I get like an Amazon Prime payment of like $20. Woo! That's cool.
It's like, yeah, I can go get a latte today. That's great.
Yeah, like hey, something many months it's $2, so that's fine. I mean, even that's cool. Okay, I'm slowly making my money back.
Yeah.
As long as you really feel confident in a good, solid way to tell a story, then go for it. If the script is not strong, I mean, I'm sure you've seen some scripts that just, and also, I feel like people forget the script should still read like it's like you're submitting it to a festival, like, or to a competition. Like you still want to write a well-written thing. A lot of people I see just write like they just spit out the directions and spit out camera angles. It's like, this is also really, really cool what you're making. You don't realize you're already making the movie. So let the script sing first. I try to like tell myself that and not get too technical or too bogged down with some things. You want to let it like really flow. So yeah.
Okay, so thank you, and please once again let the entire cast and crew know that we think they did a great, wonderful job, and we wish we could have given you all the awards in the world. It was just real tough, but Matthew definitely won his, and I hope you're proud of him because I mean we feel it was well deserved.
One of the last things I'll say is, we've seen the renaissance lately with Black horror, right? Of course, Jordan Peele stuff and lots of good stuff. So yeah, I mean, and not that queer horror is new at all, but I think that might be the next thing to just, we're seeing more queerness in great TV shows. So yeah, I just feel like we're on the wave to like not having that gay sidekick who gets killed or whatever, like
Right.
when it's gayness, queerness, but it either doesn't have anything to do with the story, they just are queer, or it's a story like this where it's central to actually what's happening, So, yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, well, I hate to let you go because I mean I could talk for another hour or so, but
Cool, awesome. Thank you so much, Jason.
yeah,
This is great.
Once
And then
again, Mark, thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
Cool.
The magic of post.
Yeah.
Where we fix all things.
Oh,
Everyone
yeah.
says we'll fix in post, but no one ever says we'll fix it in pre, right?
No, never.